let's
I mean, it's
not take the
better.
Warriors in this case.
It's better for me if we move on to the next game because it was disappointing as a Lakers fan watching this game.
So, I mean, from what I saw, uh, like the first quarter, the game started, it was ominous for the Warriors. The Kings had 8 threes. Uh, Fox was not missing, 3 of 3 from three. Completely like that Kings team that they haven't been in the postseason, but they were all season long, good from the three. And the Warriors started the game exactly the opposite way. All their points were in the paint, good passes, touches, just layups, layups, layups. And the Kings were giving that up. But what that did was the rest of the game, the Kings did not shoot that three that well. And they started taking those long threes, those contested threes, which were bad shots, in my opinion. They could have gone down and drove to the basket, which they have done so successfully all series long. Which started with a veteran in Harrison Barnes, who has been dogged all series long by their own fans. But he started going down low and even got an and one on Wiggins, which started another player for them, which was Malik Monk, who hadn't shown up in the two road games, and he had an amazing game again. He was driving, he was hanging and finishing. Like I feel like I've never seen another player do that so well. Like every time he would go bump Looney, hang in the air, and then finish. Like that was amazing for me. But I think in the first half, Clay kept Golden State awake, afloat, and he kept them away from trouble. He had two tough threes, a falling away three. He was just making tough shots. He was just doing it all for the Warriors, and I think he is the hero of that game. Like even though Steph had the big game, Draymond had 21. Uh, there was even a Kevon Olajuwon sighting with 22 boards and 7 offensive rebounds. It was an amazing game overall from the whole of the Warriors, but I think it was Clay that really won them that game, with the really timely buckets, even through all the foul trouble he was in. So right from the beginning, like when he started to get on a heater, he got two quick fouls out of the game. Came back in, got another one, had to sit again. Came back in, had 5 fouls, had to sit back again, and he had come in like really late in the fourth. But the Warriors kind of pushed it close. But something I would like to point out is that the officiating again in Sacramento was very, very different than what it was in Golden State. Like the first two games, I think the refs missed a lot of calls again. A lot of egregious flopping from Malik Monk. I think that was the flop of the year. I even shared that in the group, wherein he was just flailing and just, I don't know what that was, where that phantom call was, and just I think at this point the refs are rewarding just a snap of the head back, and just it's an automatic foul call at this point. And if the refs can look at this, I think there should be some sort of a correction in this overall. But they missed a lot of calls. They even missed like a swing on the head of Draymond, which turned into an open three for Malik Monk, which was like a massive 5 point swing, and that swayed the game a lot. I think that's what made the game a lot closer than it should have been down the stretch. But what are your guys' thoughts on the refs missing a ton of calls?
I mean, that Draymond Green slap on the head should definitely have been a foul. But I think so. It's been in the postseason. Raj, to be generally in the postseason, the refs have been missing a lot of calls, and that's how the officiating has been. It has been below par in this postseason. I think so. That's something that they definitely improve upon, because that is costing teams games. If they're not costing, if they're at least pushing a lot of players, playing those extra minutes and probably causing an injury. I mean, it's just the butterfly effect that we talk about a lot, that small changes could probably lead to a lot of things. Probably Clay Thompson pushing in the fourth quarter for another 2 minutes could cause an injury in the next game. I mean, that's something that they have to look upon, and it's not, and it's the official referees. These are not. This is not a small league. It's a very big league, and they need to. I mean, the league needs to look on how the officiating is happening. Is there an officiating mechanism, whether if the referees are missing a call, are they being penalized for the same, or is there Is there any mechanism where there is a reward or there is a mechanism to keep a check on these referees? That is extremely required. We have seen this as a problem since a very long time. This is not the first season this is happening. This is not the first season. This is not the first postseason that is happening. This is not the first game that is happening. It's been happening for so many years now, and I mean, they shouldn't have a lot of fear in getting assistance from the cameras, from the referees that are watching the game through the cameras and getting those replays in. I know it destroys the fluidity of the game, but again, what would you do with the fluidity if the game was going one way and it sways the other because of one bad call? And we've seen that happening in the past as well.
For sure. I mean, just to point out with what Rudran said, right? Kevon Olajuwon, right? So, Kevon Looney overtook everyone. So, if you remember, guys, I had stated that LeBron James was actually, after game 4, the rebounding leader in the playoff series.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's changed to Kevon Looney, who's averaging a massive 14.4 rebounds every game in the 5 games that he's played. So if you put this into comparison, right? Last postseason they played a total of 22 games, right? They obviously Kevon Looney was not starting all. I think he started like 15 odd games, but his rebounding numbers, he was averaging around 8 rebounds every game, right? And now jumping to 14.4, having two more than 20-point rebound games. I mean, I love LeBron James, and everyone gave him his props for the 2020 game. But man, oh man, Kevon Looney was actually crashing that board. Like, it's when you go on 2K and you just turn up your defensive setting, and it's like, crash the rebounds, crash the offensive glass, crash the defensive glass. That's what Kevon Looney was doing. And talking about stats right now, right? In 5 games, Steph and Klay Thompson have made the most number of 3 pointers, each with 22 3 pointers. And I don't know if Klay game 6 is gonna be a real thing but for sure Klay had in game 5. Right. Whenever you saw, the Kings was trying to step into the game, or when they had the lead, they were actually going for that lead. Matter
Exactly.
like Klay hit a tough three. Klay would come off that screen, that floppy action that they love putting in for him, and he hit that three every time. And man, oh man, did he have a beautiful game. And I think that was needed. But more than that, what I was surprised for was Raymond Green. I think it was 8 for 9 from field, or 8 for 10 from the field. Hit a three. He was taking his middies. He was not scared to go to the basket. He hit a lot of runners. He hit a lot of those
He even
shots.
had that Dirk fade
Yeah,
at the
he had
end
no
there.
Yeah.
fade. I mean, it was a single like fade away. I was like, is this Draymond Green? Am I seeing? I was like, is the 2016 game
Pretty
7 Draymond Green incarnated? Is he going for 32 points again? With that backpack ass jump shot. Anyway, we're not talking about the jump shot, but man, oh man, I think Warriors really showed out right now. And after losing 2 games back to back, they won 3 in a row. They won the away game, and like they always say, right? A series doesn't begin till a home team loses a game. And Warriors have officially won the first road game. They need just one win from being in a series against probably the Lakers. Are you already on track with having Warriors as one of the favorites to reach the Western Conference Finals, Sujit?
Yes, exactly. I mean, the team showed up, like you said. I mean, we were talking about Miami showing up. Let's talk about Warriors showing up. 4 people scoring over 20 points. Steph not being the best at the 3 point range, but finishing at the rim this particular game. He was 2 for 10 at the 3 point range. Something that I never thought, a stat that I would see in my lifetime. Steph going just 20% from the three
I've
point
seen him go 1 for
Except for the
11.
bubble seasons.
except from the bubble season. Yeah, after the bubble season. So that's something that I particularly never thought the start that I would see, but still scoring the points that he did. I mean, he's very good at finishing the rim. That's the testament. The testament is this game. I mean, he showed up, he scored the points. He did not get the threes, but he got. And everyone thinks that Steph is just a 3 point shooter, right? Everyone thinks that Steph will probably get his bulk of his points from 3 point range. But I think so. He showed that yes, I am a finisher of the rim as well. And what is happening with uh, the other Splash brother? I mean, he's shooting threes off the dribble. He's shooting threes. He's taking contested threes. He was contested on almost all the 3 point shot that he took, and then he's scoring. I mean, he's in the kind of rhythm like he was in the 3-point shooting competition where he won against Steph Curry. I mean, that is the kind of
That's what I was gonna allude to. Like, the Kings do not want to see a game 6 Clay. You never want to face like a streaky game, like where Clay is going on a heater. You never want to face him. He's that guy with the 37 points in a quarter, 60 points through 3 quarters. He had those 60 points in 11 dribbles. Once he gets going, he's leaning. You could punch him in the face. He'd still make that shot.
For sure.
He, yeah, I mean, crazy Clay. Like, that's why they call him Killer Clay. He'll kill you, man.
I mean, winning this game after, I mean, it was a terrible away season from the Warriors side, just 11 of 40, 11 to 40 record on this regular season. But I think so this game really brings back the confidence in this Warriors team. I mean, winning two definitely kept them the momentum, but winning this one gives them a better momentum that they can close it in game 6.
Coming back to that, I think Wiggins looks amazing defensively, but he's not been that great offensively. He's not decisive right now. I mean, he had those good ones, like that important tough midi at the end of the game, and he had his 20-point game, but I think he still looks indecisive on offense. But to cut him some slack, he's played just 5 games, and it's all playoff games. He's not had that many actions. He's not that comfortable. But another very important stat I'd like to point out is that Curry had 10 in the fourth quarter, while Fox had 0. Fourth
Probably
quarter,
the
Fox
first time.
did not show up. What are you guys' thoughts on that one?
I mean, the injury is to blame a bit. I think so. He was done for in the first quarter. He tried to throw the injury in the first 3 quarters. I think so. The fourth quarter is
But to
something.
begin the game, he was 3 for 3 from 3. I think the injury made him even better. But I mean, I think to answer my own question, I feel like GP2 played well, and he even had some good offensive rebounds. But more than that, his defense on him on the second quarter really put him off of rhythm. And I think down the stretch, Malik Monk got so hot that they trusted him more than D Fox. Do you guys think Fox should be number 1 option even if Malik is hot?
I think that he has to be. I mean, he's the clutch player of the year, right? I think he won the clutch player of the year not only because he was having a lot of points in that last quarter. I think Sabonis really pointed it out that, I give him the ball and I get out of the way because he's making that right decision. I think Malik Monk in the regular season especially has been really great. I think Kevon Huerter has been great because of Fox's decision making, because of Sabonis' play making. And I think the problem that the Kings have really faced this season is that they have not had even one Kevon Huerter game, right? And that's the biggest problem I've seen, because if you look back to that 2021 matchup, Hawks versus Philly, when we had the Ben Simmons stuff and everything, Kevin Huerter gave them 37 points in the game 6 when they sent Philly to Cancun and sent Ben Simmons down a spiral which he's never been able to recover from. And I mean, I'm not saying Kevin Huerter is going to score another 37 points, but he's going to be more impactful offensively, and I think that's what's most needed by the Kings team right now. Because Malik might have really given them something. I think Fox had one off game for sure. I mean, he got a picture perfect from for the entire playoff series, but he's been damn good. I think this has been the biggest stain on his entire journey till now. But this Kings team obviously making their first playoff run. Sabonis is one of the only players who's and Kevin Huerter are the only players who's actually played playoff minutes this season before in their career. So they're going to have this growing pains. As a younger team, Keegan Murray did not play as well as he played in Game 4. But for sure, I think we are due a Kevin Huerter game. I think the Aaron Fox is going to come back in. And I mean, I'm still not ready to let this one playoff series end in 6 games. Because I really want to see at least one playoff series and go to Game 7, and then I would love a Kings lighting the beam. I mean, they won't be able to light the beam away on the road, but at the same point time, it would be really fun. It would be really fun to talk to Raj after a Warriors win at home.
I mean, I honestly, I agree. I think the Kings are not yet done for sure. They are a very good team, a very tough team. They've shown that all year. But like you said, I don't think anybody wants to be in a game seven. But especially with the Kings at home, they play well. The role players show up,
A lot
and
of
also
streaky
the way
players.
a lot of streaky players like Malik Monk. You never want to face a team like that. But the way that the refs have called it in Sacramento, I don't think Golden State wants to go in there and get another win. So they really have to come out with the mentality of winning that game six like it's a win or go
For
home
sure.
kind of a game.
I mean, they won't have to. They won't have to go into Game 7. I'm pretty sure because they've been. They have an excellent record at home. They won the two at home. They have the momentum. There's nothing going wrong for Golden State Warriors at the moment. But the only thing that I can think is that if anything catastrophic happens, if the injury happens or something of that, or all the players have a bad night at that game, and that is the only way the Sacramento Kings could probably pull off a games push it to Game 7.